I grew up in the home of two educators. My father was a professor of speech at a university. My mother was an English teacher for about 30 years. So at our table, the English language was spoken well, or we didn't eat. When I was 12, my father had us learn a statement that took me 20 years to discover how powerful it really was. He made us learn this idea: you cannot think any deeper than your vocabulary will allow you to. Now think about that just for a minute. You cannot think any deeper than your vocabulary will allow you to. I discovered since that there are over 340,000 words in the English language. Winston Churchill had the largest working vocabulary of any English-speaking person that we know about. His working vocabulary was just over 25,000 words. The average business person has a working vocabulary of about 12 to 13,000 words. The average high school student has a working vocabulary of about 3,500 words. Now do the math. In every study that they have ever done of successful people, the one common denominator that they found in every successful person in whatever walk of life was they had a large working vocabulary. They knew their language. I became obsessed with words as a result of that, and I started studying great people, people who made a difference on the planet, people who were famous for one thing or another, and I started to make a list of the words that described the characteristics that made up those great people. I ended up with a list of over 90 words, unbelievably powerful words that described these incredible human beings. I'd like to share those words with you. But just think about this. A number of years ago, I got to speak in many high schools about drug abuse. As we would walk from the front door of the high school into the auditorium, I was with the students in the hallways, and I found myself listening to the vocabulary of the high school students. What do you think I heard? It was pretty discouraging, and I found myself thinking, you know, if this is the vocabulary that these kids are thinking with, we have a real problem. And so these words that I'm going to share with you now are words that can make a big difference. I had to discover the definition for these words. What was my definition? How would I describe these words to someone else? And I will tell you that if you'll internalize these words and make these characteristics in your own life, the impact it will have unbelievable ramifications for you personally.